Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And as you guys can see by the title, you guys, we are going to be talking about the copycat narcissist. Yes, the copycat narcissist. So before I get into this topic, I hope that you all are, doing your best to keep surviving, keep moving forward. A lot of times we have questions and we keep ourselves trapped in our minds because of the different traumas that we've went through with different types of narcissists in our lives. Once you spot one copycat, you will spot other copycats that are just like this narcissist. And I thought that this was a very important subject because just as we can spot a copycat narcissist, they can spot us as well. Narcissists, whether they're full-on psychopaths, they all have a characteristic of copying, right? When you watch TV shows and the more you see into the investigation, the more you investigate the relationship, this crime scene that you literally just got out of with blood everywhere. You finally have came to see what a killer is and who your killer is and how this person was able to come into your life as an intruder, copy you, mirror you. When someone is copying you, they're mirroring you. And I find it very interesting that when you think about these shows and you think about, when you see this, say like a domestic violence case or something, and you kind of already see the patterns, right? And then you'll say, oh, I've seen this before. It's like you're copying another person, another serial killer. Or a serial killer that only goes after children, or a serial killer that only goes after the elderly. These are copycat people committing crimes, you guys. Anything that you do in this life, if you really pay attention, you can be driving in traffic and someone next to you just starts driving really fast. And it's like they're in a competition with you and you're like, I'm not driving fast. Like, I'm not trying to crash, right? I'm not copying you. I'm not going to drive fast just because you're driving fast. I'm not going to race you. And what you will see is that this person will swerve around you and then there'll be another copycat on the road. Because it's like they all vibrate off the same energy, right? These narcissists. So there'll be another narcissist, another copycat on the road, and they will swerve somewhere close or in front or behind this person that just swerved around you, and they'll get in a situation where they'll almost kill each other on the road, and you're like, whoa, if I would have drove fast and raced this person, that could have been me. That could have been me. If I would have had a really bad day and something in me was like, I can't take it anymore, and you would have retaliated with this copycat on the road who is trying to make you feed into their energy. Narcissists, they want you to feed into their energy. And if you feed into it, guess what? You're part of the act, right? You're part of the narcissist act. So by you racing this person, automatically there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay for being a copycat, for not staying in your own lane. Another thing I find very interesting, it's kind of like, a baby crying. If one baby cries, guess what? The other baby's going to copy and start crying too, right? I found something interesting recently. I was out, fixing my garden, And then after I finish fixing my garden, maybe like a couple weeks later, I'm just like watering my flowers and things like that. And my neighbor's like, "Oh, I like your garden. Like, we're going to have to start fixing our garden up too." And I'm just like in my own world. Like, I'm not thinking, I hardly even speak to my neighbors. So it just so happened that she was watching me for weeks in my garden, waking up, just watering my plants, just in my own world. And the thing about copycats is that they watch you, and part of them, they're actually inspired by you. I had like a statue that I put outside in my garden, and then they ended up putting like a statue in their garden. And like, I started to notice that, right? Then I started kind of not getting annoyed. I don't get annoyed with things like that, but I kind of was like, I fixed my garden because I want to have peace in my garden out in the front. But then I didn't have any peace because now my neighbor's working in their garden. Now, like, when I go outside, I have to see them all the time, right? So I'm like, let me go to my backyard. Now my neighbors in the back that live behind me, now they're fixing their house and they're doing construction work. And then all in the same week, my other neighbors on the other side started doing construction work on their house. So then it just started to hit me, like, once one person does something, all these other people follow along, right? Just like, I don't want to get into worldly things, but I also want to speak on mind control, because that's what it all boils down to, right, you guys? Mind control and the manifestations of things that happen physically, manifesting itself in the spiritual realm, right? And things from the spiritual realm also manifesting, physically in your body, in your appearance, and the things that are happening around you. Signs that are trying to take you out of that copycat role that you have been playing as well, because now you're getting stuck and you're getting railed into this role. This narcissist is tucking you in, they're pulling you in like a magnet, and with copycats, with narcissists, narcissists, you guys, are some of the biggest copycats. A lot of their ideas come from the people around them, their friends. They copy their friends. They copy anyone that they might look up to, people in movies, music, because, music plays a big influence in our emotions. It's like you can listen to the right song when you wake up and it could just influence your whole day. So mind control is literally anything being able to have an influence on you, having an influence on your personality. Anything that you do will have an influence on you. If you're walking down the street and you see someone with a haircut that you think it's like, oh, that's a nice haircut, and then you're thinking to yourself, maybe I should cut my hair like that. It's like, naturally, as humans, humans want to connect with other humans, and not just that, but as we learn and we learn what we like, what we don't like, from a young age, everything that you do, you're copying. Your parents are teaching you how to potty train yourself. You're copying your parent. You see them sitting on the toilet, so now you're sitting on the toilet. Everything you're learning, you're copying. But at some level, you have to understand that everything that you copied not necessarily is right. Just like the narcissist, they were taught a lot of things. They've seen a lot of things. They could have, compared themselves to that villain in that movie and compared you to that victim in that movie, and they will copy a character And because they've copied this character that they said that they're going to play according to who they believe that you are, because narcissists, they size you up. They build a perception of who they believe that you are according to certain traits that you have, vulnerabilities, things that you speak of. They will compare those things to other supplies that they've had. So now they're looking at you as if you're the copycat, because you're reminding them of exactly everything their ex did. You're falling for the same game that their ex fell for. So although they're copycats and they're also mirroring you, and by them mirroring you, they're being copycats, right? They're looking at it as if, hey, you're a copycat, I'm a copycat, but I have an agenda. You don't really have an agenda. So that means that I'm in charge. I'm in power. This is where the power comes in, where the narcissist is like, I'm in power. I'm in control. Everything, it's my world. And you're just basically living in it. And in the beginning, you don't realize the role you're playing. Eventually, you realize the role you're playing, and you think you can get out of it easily. Then eventually you realize that you can't get out of this role easily because you've been playing this role with the narcissist. And since they've played this fake copycat character with you, now it's hard for you to change things that they have instilled in you. They first copy you. They take your ideas and things like that. They make these ideas up to be their ideas, and what their reality is, they put their reality onto you, and they make you believe their reality until you literally either believe it or you accept it. And by you accepting it, because you're avoiding that argument with that narcissist, you're avoiding that fight. You don't want to argue with them. You don't have the energy to go back and forth with them. So you give in, right? But if you give in over time, in their eyes, you guys, you're nothing but a copycat. You're doing the same thing their exes did, their other past victims did. And in order for you guys to understand that you're basically playing this role, and if you decide not to play this role, someone else will. And you will get to a point in your life where you'll be so uncomfortable playing that role, because you know that you do not want to play that role anymore. You know that the narcissist copied you until you became whatever it is that they wanted you to be, but you realize that even that character you're playing is not who you are. So now you're lost, you're conflicted, you're not who you used to be, you're not this person that was created. And now you have to basically relearn everything. This is why you go in circles in your head and you replay everything you went through, and you try to make sense of things to stop bumping into these narcissists, because I keep bumping into the same type of serial killer that's literally coming into my world trying to play Judas and crucify me. And I don't know why I keep bumping into these guys or these girls. Eventually you realize that you're playing a character that's attracting them. Once you break that character that you've been playing, because now you've woken up to the worst of the worst. I really believe that narcissism, it's like the worst of the worst, but then it's like a blessing. It's like a curse, but it's a blessing, because now you're always one step ahead. You always know what type of person you do not want in your life. You know what type of person to create in your world. You realize that you cannot be in a relationship with a copycat because there's no one home. There's no one there. A copycat is just that. Monkey see, monkey do. That person will always be living in they will always keep reliving history. A copycat literally copies, pastes, and does the same thing over and over again. Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste with the next supply, copy and paste with friends, with family, until eventually someone is like, hey, this report you've made, it's nothing but, copy and paste. And, now that criminal has got. That's why the narcissist criminal, they always come to light, you guys. A copycat is someone who imitates or adopts behaviors of others. In the 1980s, you guys, there was a case. I remember hearing about it when I was younger, and it was about Tylenol tablets, or like the powder and the Tylenol was mixed with like cyanide, and cyanide, it's like a poison. So I don't know if you guys have heard about that case, and it was done obviously by a narcissist, right? Only a narcissist would do some crazy stuff like put some type of poison inside Tylenol tablets. And I remember, I think like 3 people died from that case. But I say this to say, just like this incident with this cyanide that was put in the Tylenol, this particular case reoccurred itself by a copycat. And like many cases, with shootings in the school and shootings in the movie theater, just all these different cases, even the Zodiac killer. There was a lot of serial killers who wanted to take that credit that Zodiac killer, all the crimes he committed. It was a lot of copycats that wanted to commit the same crimes that he did with the signature. They found what he did inspiring. And, a lot of times when they recreate movies based on serial killers, the crime rate goes up. And a lot of people believe that, these children or these kids or these people watch these movies, and because they watch these movies, they go out and commit crimes, right? This person has been thinking for a long time, I know I'm evil, but now they found someone to look up to, and now they're like, hey, maybe I can start doing that too. I know I'm evil, I just don't really know what's my thing yet, so I'm going to copy this serial killer. I mean, that's how normalized these narcissists look at things. And I say this because we live in a world where social media is literally taking over the minds of, the children and really everyone, even the people who swore they weren't going to get on the internet, people who swore they didn't know how to use their phones, and now look at them. People who were telling their children not to eat at the table while they're on social media. Now everyone is copying each other based on social media, what is being put out there. When, when people go on strike, teachers go on strike, that's when the copycats come out. Now everyone is going on strike. Now everyone's, protesting. Now everyone's doing these rallies. That's why your voice is very important. That's why when celebrities have an army full of people who are copying them, who want to be like them, who admire these music artists, who worship them, this is that copycat syndrome. That's why it's so powerful, because it can have so much of an effect on others and their behaviors. when you find people who are identical to your personality and they look up to you, or they find traits about you that they feel that they can possess, they will possess those traits. And a lot of these people have a whole army behind them. You know, this is why the narcissists, they tend to copy you. They want to take over your family, your friends. These people not only copy you, but then they turn on you after they've gained all the information that they could get out of you. Now they turn on you. And now anything that they learn from you, they make it seem like that's something that they learned on their own. You get me? So, you know, just be very careful and very mindful of the people you have around you. When you notice that someone has these copycat characteristics, avoid them. Especially if you're around a narcissist, because they all stick together. So if this narcissist knows that a family member is being, you know, detrimental to your health in any type of way, they're going to want to go be friends with them. You know, they're going to go befriend them, and they're going to talk about you, and then they're going to exchange things that they know about you, or characteristics about you, and they're going to share these things with each other, and then they're going to copy the hate that they have for you. And you didn't do anything to these people. It's just the simple fact that they're hateful people and they're copycats. So you know, be original, love yourself, and always shine your light to others, and wake up as many people as you can, guys. Leave your comments down below. Like, share your experiences. What is your intake on, you know, this copycat disorder? You know, people, you know, they have people who commit suicide based on other suicides. You know, there's copycats. There's people who are like, hey, there's a coronavirus. I have it now. You know, I have the coronavirus because I'm a copycat and I need attention, and I want to go to the hospital. I want to be sick. I need attention somehow. Positive, negative, it doesn't matter. Copycats love attention, you guys. So I leave you guys with this message. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.